This video explains the steps of Elisa test and its uses. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we'll study Elisa test. Elisa test is a diagnostic test. We can search for specific antibodies in the serum of the patient. Elisa test E enzyme L linked I immuno solvent assay. We notice the presence of an enzyme. We will see the usage of the enzyme in this test. First of all, this kit shown here contain wells. Each circle is considered as a well. We don't use all the wells for one patient, but we can use one or two according to the case. We will study here we have one of these wells, one of the wells. Okay, we make attachment of HIV virus, which is a human immunodeficiency virus. In this experiment, we want to search for antibodies in the serum of the patient, antibodies against HIV antibodies. First of all, we add the serum of the patient without knowing whether this serum contains antibodies or not. Based on this diagram, we notice that there are antibodies that bind to the fixed HIV, which means that this patient is affected. But can we stop here? Can we conclude that this person is affected based on the diagram? As we see in the first diagram, that the wells are not large like this diagram. Okay, then we have to read in this example. We notice that the serum contains antibodies against HIV, the black antibodies. Also, the serum contains other types of antibodies. So to eliminate these free antibodies, you have to make washing. Okay. After washing, what remains is the fixed antibodies. This is an important note, that you may think that the test is ended since the serum of the patient contains anti-HIV antibodies as shown in the diagram in the well, but really the kit looks like this. We can't really see the antibodies by naked eyes. Okay. To verify whether whether the well contains anti-HIV antibodies, we make synthesis for an antibody that binds to human antibody. We synthesize antibodies that are specific for a human antibodies, the red antibody. Also, this antibody is coupled with an enzyme. Okay, and so we will add antibodies that are specific to human antibodies, and these antibodies are coupled to enzymes. Okay, we notice that the red antibodies bind to the black one. Also here in this document we have free antibodies and we want to eliminate them, so we have to make washing also. Finally, the last step, the antibody that we add is coupled with enzyme. Finally, the last step, we add the substrate for this enzyme. The substrate in the presence of the enzyme will transform into product. As a result, if the product is obtained, so the enzyme is present, and as a result the antibody is present and fixed to the anti-HIV antibody, which means that the patient is affected by this disease. To know if the product is obtained or not, we put a colored product. Okay, so the change in the color inside the well means that the enzyme present, this enzyme is coupled to antibodies. These antibodies are specific to human antibodies that we are searching for, and as a result the patient is seropositive. And as we discussed previously, that seropositive indicates the presence of antibodies against certain disease. Look at the red color in the kit, indicates that this change in color indicates that the patient is seropositive and he is affected. Thank you. This is Elisa Test. See you later in the next videos.